Hey guys, Deathscyp here from Y.C.G, your casual gamer, and time to build the second part of our second stage for Deathscyp Factory Season 2. Now, I strongly suggest you use your imagination for this and try to recreate something different than what you see over here. I'm going to create myself a new design using everything that we've learned so far, using 4-step. First step being the creation, second step the texturizing, third step the populate, and the fourth step light up. And the video is going to go in speed mode so that you guys can try to follow along at the same time if you guys want to recreate exactly what I'm going to do, or if you want to go on your own, try to build something new. And I'm just going to use what we have learned so far, and this is what it should look like at the end. Whoops, too fast. We're going to have this over here with the trap, lifts, and the room is all lit in for something that requires emergency, like you're running away from something or running out before the places explode. So stay tuned, guys. Okay, let's create our BSP layout. So this we're not gonna need this anymore. Now make sure the first thing is that you're on the right streaming volume. Remember in previous episode we weren't on the right streaming volume and streaming level, sorry, and when we moved the BSP brush to another level, it merged the faces like you see over here, and we don't want that, so we want to make sure that we're on the right level to start. And I'll grab the BSP brush, bring it here. Make sure you're not selected on anything. Oh, it's going to be blank. And the measures are going to be 500 for the X, 500 for the Y, and 25 for the Z axis. Now let's just make it close over here. So I believe the distancing over here was 330 that I found. That was perfect for me. Maybe 330 -1, just so we don't get the edges, or not even -1, -02. There we go. And this is a little lower. And same thing over here. I just put the decimal just to make sure that there's no flickering. That's good. Now let's start extruding. Put it to 25. And 500 for the ceiling, and this here is going to be 75. Whoop, not 4, 5. And there you go. Now you're going to be flush with the wall. Do the same thing over here. There we go. So now I'm going to build the second part of the level, and I'm going to make something different than what you saw in the showcase, just to use my imagination, and I certainly suggest you do the same. And let's get started. So let's do this together. Just drag in another BSP brush. Measures are going to be 120 for the X, 45 for the Y, and 220 for the Z. And just make it subtractive and just drag it inside the wall. Like this. You got yourself a doorway. And there we go. Now all that's left is to do this over here to 750, and we're done with the level. That's what it look like for me. Hopefully you have something original to show. Alright, now for the texturizing. First thing first, don't worry about the ceiling so much, because we're going to do this at the end. Because you always want to keep a bird's eye view on your level, that way you see better. Now, for the texturizing, you're going to grab this over here and this, and we're going to put the alignment to wall, and it's going to be 4 by 4 for the scale. And then we're going to put the transition texture, so the texture from the last level. So that's what I did for here. I'm even gonna add another door, another big metal door like this, just to make a nice smooth transition between the two levels in the populate section, of course. Now over here for the floor, it's the same thing as this. So anything that's ground and lower, I use the concrete tiles over here. And for the walls, I use the MTech panel like so. And when you align it to the wall, and the measures I used was 4 and 1.8 for the texture scaling, and then I just adjust it to my liking. So it could be something like this. I don't know, something like this maybe. I like that. And then so on and so forth. I do that everywhere. And if it's too much, I can just put it to 1.6. Was it 1.6? 1.6 I think works better for my... Yeah, I see everything tiles perfectly like this. Anyways, so I'm going to speed up the video and I'm going to texturize the whole place. So have fun. For the sides over here, I use this over here, like that. So have fun. Let's go. guys. Ready to be populate. Alright, time to populate our level. Now to populate the level, there is a few pointers first. I've actually created a few things, but these things you already know how to make. First thing is I created a smaller version of the big door. It's just different scaling, same method that we use with the BSP brush building static mesh method. And also for the materials, for my neons, I've actually used the I created a red and a yellow kind of neon just by duplicated one. I just duplicated it and then I changed the color to the one I wanted. So go ahead and do that if you need to. If not, let's get started. So what's nice is when you get more stuff in your level, you can just drag and drop them inside the level. Given that you already are selected on the right streaming volume, you can just alt drag a new copy and just place it like this. Same thing goes for the neon. They're already all nice and scaled to my preference, and I can just alt drag it inside my level, and they're already nice and scaled too. They even align good, like two birds, one stone. So that goes for that. And now for the blueprints, be careful. You can drag them inside another string volume, but sometimes it might mess up the procedure. So be very careful. If it does happen, just drag in a new copy inside your the right level, and then it's going to work. So I'm going to speed up the video now and populate the level. So let's go. Little neat trick to change all the colors of the neon at the same time. Just make sure the other level is not visible and click on the world inliner. Very simple. Just grab one, hold shift and click the last one, and then you can choose the color you want. And for me it's going to be a red. Now it's going to change them all, so I might have to do a little adjustment like this one and this one and all of those over here. I wanted them to be the yellow. Just gonna take 2 seconds like this. And now for the end level platform, you're gonna see it's actually pretty funny. All I took is the table from the Unreal material. I just put it like this and just center it, be a little higher, and then for the material I just use my material, this one, like that, and then it gives yourself a nice little platform to finish on. If it's not scaled properly, you can fix it up too. There we go. And that's it. Now let's continue. have it. We're done with the populate with everything that we have so far, and everything should work now. If I get inside, well, actually if I get inside the level, nothing's gonna load, so I just need to make sure that it's, you go on 2.2 and make sure that it's initially loaded, checked, and visible, and exit that, save everything, and then when you load the level you should be able to walk inside. And there you have it. Before you get started, make sure that actually if you've been following the episode, you're gonna have a level streaming here that's gonna be in the way for your testing purpose, so just get rid of this. Now inside the process volume, make sure that the post-process volume englobes all the level. If it doesn't, then you're gonna get a different lighting and different parts of your stage. And last but least, I actually changed a few materials over here. I realized that my walls, when I was checking out my notes, was supposed to be metal steel from the starter content and the materials. So you can go ahead and change that. And now for the lighting, I already have, let's go inside light mode first. So I already have a few lights over here that I'm going to use. Since they're already all set up perfect for what we're going to do, we have over here the neon lights. So I can just alt drag a new copy over here up. And like always, make sure you're inside the right level before you get started. Let's do that again. And let's turn it to 90. And then drag it inside. Nice little blue line. That would actually make pretty cool for the scene, but let's keep what we had. So playing with the source length just to make sure it englobes the whole neon light over here. So let's just scale it to liking. That's good. And then for the color, I'm going to change it to a bright red, like that. And that's it for that. Now second light I'm going to need is an environment light, so this one over here. So I'm going to drag this in on the other side. Now again, it's going to be not the color you're looking for, but it's alright, easy to change. If you want to have the same color as this, you can always go here and make it inside a theme. That way when you go over here and you select the light, you'll have your theme over here that's going to match up everything in your scene. Always a neat little trick. So say I'm happy with this. Right now you see blue reflection, and that's because of the reflection sphere we have over here. But once I'm going to hide the level over here, you're going to see that everything works fine. So I'm just going to keep it open a little bit more before we start speeding up the video. And I'm going to need one of those. So I'm just going to drag this out and just bring it here. So as you see, I'm just using what we've learned so far to make a new part, another part of our level. It's going to be an emergency light. And if you've seen the showcase, we're going to trigger them all at the same time at one point. I'm going to show you how to do this soon. I'm just going to set it like this, maybe scale it up more, so that I can actually hide this cone. That way now it looks like a security light. I like that. And then for the light, we're going to make sure it's in front. And for the color, we're going to change it to a nice orangey look. Oh, whoops. The color has to be changed over here. So I said orange. Voila. Perfect. Like that. And of course the intensity, we're going to put it down. Like that. Oh yeah, one more thing I change. I don't know if it's done already, but we're gonna open up the blueprint, and for the light on, I actually took out the cast shadow because it adds a lot of lag, and you don't really need cast shadow over here because everything is metallic and it's already doing a nice reflection on its own. So just make sure to remove cast shadow for all the lights. You can do it manually, but it's always better to do it before. And for the alarm state, it's your choice if you want to put it on or not. I put it off, and we'll see what that does later on. If it's too ugly, I'm going to put it back to cast shadow. Yeah, for this scene over here, you don't even need any cast shadow. So those are the 3 lights I'm going to use, and I'm going to populate my scene with those. So let's go for the speed up. Alright, so last thing we can do over here is, I forgot to check this over here. I see, I'm gonna have to do it. So, sorry, the light over here, I'm gonna set it to red. This here like that. It's gonna have to be manually. It's done. It's done. Alright, so when you jump into the scene, now everything is lit in. Looks awesome all the way down. And there you have your scene. You can tweak all the shadows, like I said, and all the lighting, like always. But that's pretty much it. So I hope you enjoyed this. And the next episode, we're going to be working on level streaming again. Showing you another method to load up another level and how to unload another level. I find it's more simpler and more clean. And like always, if you like what you see, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.